Welcome to another episode of Unleashed Podcast. Today I'm here with 25-time world champion Lena Boysen-Hillestad. Welcome.
Thank you.
And today our topic is passing, to train dogs to pass each other on the trail.
Yeah, that's important.
I think it's very important.
You're listening to Unleashed by Nonstop Dogwear.
So first of all, why is it so important to teach the dogs this?
You have to teach them to behave and to keep on running like they did before they catch up other teams. And it will be a nicer ride for you and the dogs. And of course the ones you are passing to.
So how do you start to train this? Like there are a lot of puppies that are just like, they just want to go and say hi to the other dog. How can you avoid this and work on that not happening?
It will probably happen anyways. But if you start when you have puppies, you should meet a lot of different dogs, also different breeds, so they get used to different situations. And when you start to train them more regularly, I would have a short bungee and good control, and I would talk to people I pass or plan to pass them, so it will be under control. But normally most sled dogs will run past others without problems. But the playing thing shouldn't happen when you are out training, even if it's just for fun.
But then you organize training together with others so that you can like practice in a way a controlled environment.
We do that. And in Norway, we're lucky to have snow. So the easiest way to do it is on the snow, on skis, because then you have two free hands. You have the poles, but you can still use your hands. And then it's really easy to learn how to do that. And then it's important when you're in a group that you... some people are slowing down and some are passing, and you're not supposed to win the training.
Yes.
You should pass each other all the way during the training.
Yeah.
And if you do it in without snow, as maybe most of the listeners
Yes.
they have only dry land, I would do it maybe on a wider road, so you can actually have a little distance and a shorter bungee than you normally use. And then you just have to be aware, and you can brake hard if your dog is going to play with the other dogs.
Yes. Because I personally, the same reason why you said that, like with skiing, then you have two free hands. That's why I like it in canicross, because then you can like pull in the dog a bit like closer. But many people find that still a bit hard because the dog is strong and like pulling towards the other one. So maybe... in a way, it's easier to give a dog, not a shock, but I know that it like takes them out a bit of the situation when you like do like a big sudden break. That's like, oh, okay, I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah, right. But canicross is perfect, of course. I don't canicross too much. That's why I didn't mention that. But that, of course, two free hands is the best you can do.
But then if you have a dog that is like pretty okay with like the passing, you see that they're not going up to the other dog, how would you handle then the passing? Because I know that some people, they like, like start to slow down because they are maybe a bit like nervous, but that's actually not what you're supposed to do.
They can read us so easily. So they know when we're nervous, and it's so hard for us, for me too, of course. If I know I have a dog, I'm not sure how it's going to act. Of course, they understand if I break down a little bit. So you should just go. But then you can't do that with people you meet in the woods.
Yes.
You have to have some friends out there and know the people and the dog, and then you can try to do it right. And that's exactly the reason why we want to have nice dogs too, so we can be in the woods with other people, not only our musher friends.
Yes. Also, maybe the one that we're passing can slow down a little bit.
Sure.
So you get like some
help
distance.
Us. So maybe they also could go with a shorter bungee. So it's easier to pass. And one bad passing needs like at least 10 good ones. So if you can have all these good ones, and then you get more
confident as well.
Yeah, and then the next time or next times after a while, you will just think, okay, this is okay, and you go, and then the dog will think, okay, it should be like this. But it's not easy.
No, it's absolutely not. And I think something that many people don't necessarily think about is that they think about reactive dogs, that is the issue. But we also don't want dogs to say hi, even if they are friendly. We don't want any interaction between the dogs really on the trail.
So also when you're out training with others, you always stop after you pass people. You don't stop because you meet them. Also when we train, like our neighbors are out walking his dog, and it's polite maybe to stop and chat for a while. But then, okay, you just go, call him afterwards and say, sorry, but I can't stop when I'm out training, because the dog should just run past everything.
Do you also train with other distractions, like, I don't know, photographers or anything else that can be on the trail?
That is really important. And some of the listeners may know that we had this, these figures, men kind of things at Gåsbu.
Yes.
And we put them around in the trail. Some people were so scared because they didn't know, and they were out there with a headlamp in the dark.
There were like these scarecrows, I think they are called, that you would put in like cornfields to like scare away the birds. They were exactly the same out in the trail.
Yes, right. And we did that because we want to have people watching, like audience, and we like people to take pictures. And also maybe drones and stuff. It's important to maybe go for a walk in the city just to see all this different stuff. That's important.
The socialization is important for also these
and then
racing dogs.
When you have them in a leash walking in the city, then you're confident because you know you have control.
Yes.
And then they will learn that nothing is dangerous. Everything's just cool.
Yes. So I feel like, especially with photographers, they are often in these like weird poses in a way.
Yeah.
So the dogs are like, what is that? What is happening?
Yeah,
there?
and they have their gear like all in the middle of the trail sometimes. And
So it can be scary.
And we all want photos.
Yes, we all love photos. So we want the photographers there.
Yeah. So making a special, like right now when we're training, they take a lot of limber. Out of the woods, big trucks and big machines, and these big machines is like I don't know, some aliens beside the road we're training on, and some of our dogs are a little bit, wow, what's that? But when I'm not reacting to it, they just run, and it's good to be and like passing these big trucks in the middle of the small road. It's also just a good thing. It's not dangerous, just run.
When you say you don't react, does that mean that you also don't say anything that like to go past it or like any comments?
Just like we are talking, like, wow, this is okay. Look at all this timber. Wow, I'm just talking to them, not like, come on, or good dog, because then they feel that, oh, it's something happening. So just like talking about cakes or different trees or species or whatever stuff.
It's
like when when you cut their nails, if they don't like it, then I talk like just a lot, like just talking, and they are a little bit what is she doing? And they forget that they don't like it.
They're trying to figure out what are you talking about, and they forget about
so
the clock.
I use that a lot.
So you did the same. Okay. Okay, that's a bit interesting. That I never done. I try to be like as silent as possible.
You just talk more than they can absorb.
Overwhelm them with talking. Even if we try our best, sometimes we might meet other dogs out on the trail that might not be so nice, and there might be an accident with the dogs that they like. Not necessarily that they will get like injured or actual like physical contact, but even if a dog is just like jumping towards them, it can be scary. What can you do afterwards to like take this negative experience out?
You just have to have good passings again and again and again. Maybe with people you know them, just to be sure that they will be good. But this can happen, of course, and it's the psychological effect is the big thing. Not if they're injured. I know just a small cut or something, it just mends, but the head is the problem. So
that is very hard.
Well, it's not fun when that happens. But of course, it's dogs. It can happen to me, to you, with our dogs too. Even if they're nice, just one day they want to play a little bit and scare off another dog. And yeah, that's a part of the life we live with our dogs, I guess.
It's not always easy. Some people struggle with that, like they have actually like the dog is obviously chasing the other dog like crazy. It can pass nicely, that's not an issue, but once they pass the other dog, then they like slow down and don't want to run so much anymore. Do you have any tips on how to train on this?
That's annoying. And if I had an easy answer for that, I think in competitions we would have a lot of people with almost the same result. So it's hard, and it happens for us too. Not that they stop completely, but of course chasing is more fun. It's like playing football. It's more fun to play football running after a ball than just running like hell with nothing in front of you.
Yes.
So I understand the way that is. But I think just being with your dog, being friends with your dog, and being close to your dog will make that easier. So you just have to... And also the thing, when you meet people in the trail, or friends or the neighbor or people you train with, never let the dog decide when to stop. You decide when to stop. So you always go past the others, and then you can stop, and the others can follow, and you can do that repeatedly. And also when you, especially now in the fall and when it's warm outside, you usually stop to drink in some water or whatever where you train. Always stop on different places, because you are the one who decides when to stop, not the dog. In a nice way, of course, but so just being it's always you that decides what's happening.
I see it with my own dog, that this is a bit of a struggle, that if he knows a place where we stopped before, then he slows down before that.
Ours too.
And it's actually annoying for us at the finish line, because if he knows where the finish line is, he slows down. But it's more like, I don't know, he gets depressed that we're stopping, because the minute that we go past that part, then he gets so excited that like, oh my God, we're running more, let's go. So it's just like, But we try to also train on this, that, for example, when we train together with others or with my boyfriend, and we have, like obviously we train with different dogs, once the one in front stops, we always try to go past and only stop after that. And sometimes I have to go quite long, because I wait until the dog gets back into the rhythm, and I feel like, okay, they are like pulling right, and then in a way stop on the top, in the sense of like when they are like doing the best, not when they start to slow down, or that I feel like, okay, now I try to push it until it gets better and then stop.
Good idea. And also where you park the car when you train, if you can park it so you can go further with your dog, that's smart. Because when I was younger, we always parked where there was a roadblock, and the car was on the other side, and we had to walk past the roadblock. So when we came back, they saw the car, and I had to stop because I couldn't go all the way to the car. And then every time when they saw the finish line, they stopped. So now we are, we try to have a full speed through the finish line, and we go all the way to the car. Like we train a lot at Gåsbu, where we live, and we never stop in the finish line. We continue some 100 meters more.
Because at some races, or I guess even like at some places where one trains, you have to run actually past the car. Or if you want to do several rounds, you have to run past the car. So it's a good thing to train on.
But after making the PR turn at Gåsbu, some people have seen that, I guess. it's instead of having 2 laps, we have the trail coming almost all the way into the finish line and going out again, so people can watch.
Yeah.
And it's more fun to have competitions. And in the beginning, people were so afraid that dogs wouldn't like to run anymore because that was always the way for the finish line.
Yes.
But I think it's working very well. So we just have to train and adjust for whatever we are meeting.
Yeah, and try new things. And it's usually the same challenges for everybody. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
There is something that we did not mention before, and that can be actually interesting for some listeners that are very new to this topic, is passing something that dogs do automatically once you like train them in, or is it something that is being done on a command? Are you saying something to the dogs when they have to pass something?
I think it's the same thing as with everything you learn the dogs in the beginning. You give this good command or you give a treat, and in the end, after some time, maybe some years, they know they do it without having this treats or commands.
Yes.
So they will just pass, but we will probably say, good boys, good girls, very good, wow, just talking, not the like this, but like the babble talking.
Yes.
Like earlier I told you about earlier, something like that. Just very good, nice. But if you know you have a dog that will play, you have to be ready and say something. Hey, come on, bra.
Yeah. Do you like, because when you're like approaching someone, do you then go say like, in Norwegian it's forbi, but like, go past if you would translate it, or you don't use?
Yeah, because I like to tell people, not in a mass start, of course.
Yeah.
Then you have to have your eyes in the back too. But in a normal race or training, I always say, hello, is it okay if we pass you? And I think that's a good thing for the one in front of you too. Maybe they have to do some action, I don't know. But then, or else you can just scare them.
Yeah. So it's more like to tell the people, not to the dog.
The people, yeah.
Another question that might come up sometimes, is there a specific side you have to pass on, like left or right, or?
No, we don't do that. We pass where it's possible to pass. So, no, but running on left or right side, that's a thing. If you go with the bigger team, you always have to have dogs running on the right side. Yes. Not in Australia and the UK, but other countries, because you want to go where the cars are going.
Yes.
But I prefer to let the dogs run where they want to run and take shortcuts where it's possible.
Yeah, they find the fastest trail on the.
But I know that my husband always had bigger teams.
Yeah.
And his dogs, even if the trail was really shitty on the right side, they always run on the right side.
Yes.
So, but smaller teams, no problems. And passing, we pass where it's space enough to pass.
Yeah. It's a special thing in Norway, I think, because it's a lot of like gravel roads and dirt roads where you can also meet cars, so you have to follow the rules of traffic. So then it's very important to... like both the visibility aspect, like be visible when it's dark, and also like don't meet someone in the turn, like head on.
Right.
Super. I think we got some very, very good tips here. If you would be only able to give one tip to our listeners, what would it be regarding like passing training?
Oh, passing training. Train for what you are meeting in competitions. And if you're only out there for training, some people are doing that too. Just be nice with the dogs and try to maybe do some canicross in the beginning. They have to learn what to do before they do it. Yeah. That must be the tip for everything, actually. And as always, be friends with your dogs.
And like this connection helps to like make them understand what you want and like also do it for you.
If you want them to respect you, you have to respect them too, of course.
It's very important. Thank you so much. I think we got some amazing tips that I hope that will help our listeners to train passing with their dogs. And I wish you, the best of luck for the rest of the season. You will be following André around, and I hope people can also meet you at the Canicross Open, if that's right.
We will go there.
Yeah, very nice. Then people can also ask you in person.
Of course,
maybe.
Yeah,
amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you too.